My husband wanted to have his cake and eat me too by asking for an open marriage, but the only thing I'm letting him eat is my divorce papers. My husband, 28M, and I, 29F, have been together for 9 years, married for 7. We had a not-so-classic rushed wedding to give ourselves better chances of receiving custody of his half-sister, 10F, when their mom suddenly passed away. Despite only being 20 and 21 years old, we did receive full legal custody over her absent father. This information isn't super relevant to the current situation, but it really sets the tone of our relationship with the sacrifices we made together and the things we each had to give up personally to raise this beautiful little girl. We don't have any children together, but his sister is now 17 and moved in with an older, more financially privileged aunt last year. Over the past year of this newfound alone time, I feel like we have flourished personally and as a couple. We never fight, arguments are rare, and we are pretty good at coming to understandings and apologizing when necessary. Basically, I feel we have a pretty healthy relationship. We each do little things for each other. I receive flowers no less than 10 times a year, and we go on little vacations together and are generally really good. I guess a bit of the spark was sputtering out for a while, but I feel like that's normal for a relationship as long as ours. Fast forward to this past October. My husband seems like he has been depressed, which is normal for this time of year because of the timing of losing both his mom and dad in different years around the same time. The holidays are tough for him, so I get it and try to be there for him. He had previously planned an unalive attempt because of family issues before we met, so I take his mental health very seriously. He sits me down to have a serious conversation and starts it by saying he wants to open up our relationship. I felt my heart drop to my stomach but stayed silent and let him talk. He doesn't go into why, just jumps right into rules and explains how he wants me to find someone first before he starts looking for someone himself. When I asked him why, he couldn't explain it and fumbled his words. I asked him if he already had someone in mind for himself, and of course, he denied it. I couldn't help it. I definitely blew up. I was totally blindsided by this proposal. I slept on the couch after my outburst, and he didn't even try to come after me to explain anything, which kind of made me feel worse. I had never felt so unwanted in my life than in that moment. I have never given the impression that I was the kind of girl to be open to that kind of relationship. I will never judge anyone for wanting to live that kind of life, but it's just not for me. He went to work the next day, but I had the day off and really thought about my situation. After crying for hours, I came to the realization that this was the end for our marriage. Even suggesting an open marriage was a deal breaker for me, I realized. While he was still at work, I moved all his stuff out of our bedroom into his sister's old room, technically a spare room now. He comes home from work, ready to talk it out. After talking through more of why he wants this, I've come to realize several things. He is way kinkier than he lets on and is disappointed with our bedroom life. He knows I'm not on the same level and doesn't want to push me past my boundaries to try things he knows I won't like. When I asked how he knows I won't like to try these new things, he explains they are an escalation of things he already knows I'm not down for but won't go into specifics. He also is unhappy with how infrequently we do it but has never really put any effort to change anything regarding it. Just complained over and expected me to just be ready to do the deed any minute of the day. He feels we have nothing in common now that his sister is gone. For context, he is more of the outdoorsy type whereas I like to stay inside and read or play video games. I do venture out once in a while to do things he likes together, and I do genuinely enjoy them myself when I go, like kayaking and skiing. I do understand that it isn't as often as he would like, though. Because we got married so young, there are a lot of things neither of us really got to experience or try, mostly bedroom stuff. He is mourning the loss of his young 20s and never getting to sleep around and explore his kinks. Part of the rules he explained was that we wouldn't technically be sleeping around with whoever we wanted. He called it an open marriage but described it more as polyamory, where we would each have a boyfriend or girlfriend of our own that we went on dates and did things together. Someone we were each allowed to love and be with in bed. An emotional connection was pivotal for him, which broke my heart to pieces. During our talk, I told him I would never be able to look at him the same. I would never be enough for him, and he was basically trying to get a pass for guilt-free cheating in my eyes. I told him it sounded like he wanted to be with someone else without ever leaving the comfort of his marriage. Knowing he could date around and not worry if those relationships would fail because he could just come home to me. He tried denying these things, saying he wanted to explore himself more but didn't want to lose me in the process. He tried getting me to agree to marriage counseling to talk about the open marriage concept. I told him just proposing an open marriage was grounds for divorce for me, and I wasn't willing to go to a counselor for them to gang up on me to try to bully me into trying it. I know in reality that never would have happened, but emotions were high in the moment. Because I told him I could never see him the same and how badly this crushed any self-confidence I may have had, he doubled down. He said if we go back into a relationship and pretend this never happened, then he would end up cheating on me. For him, it was open marriage or nothing. I chose nothing. Divorce papers were filed exactly 1 week later. He was very angry and hurt that I could jump right to divorce and kick him out of our bedroom so fast, but I refused to be a second choice or have to fight for his attention. I can't believe he is okay with the idea of another person being inside of me. He is willing to just give me up to explore his options? I can't believe I wasted so much of my time with him, helping him heal his family and raise his sister. I feel completely used. Should I have waited longer before filing for divorce? Should I have just gone to marriage counseling, or was my gut instinct correct about the marriage being over? I still love and care about him, but my brain is screaming to be logical. We still live together while we are trying to figure out how to split everything, but now he is being super toxic and petty, saying hurtful things and then begging for personal details about my life. I need to get out of this house. Update 1. Hello everyone, I wanted to say thank you all for the support. As for the update, where do I even start? It has officially been over the required 90 days since initially filing for divorce before it can be deemed official. I'm going to the courthouse tomorrow to file the remaining paperwork. We had an easy, uncontested divorce. We agreed on pretty much everything, and he didn't even give me a hard time about taking our 2 cats that are quite attached to me. I bought a small home for myself and the cats and moved a few days ago. I won't lie, this entire process was very tough for me emotionally. It was especially hard considering he was constantly hot and then cold. He would jump from name-calling and trying to control who came over to our house, to finding reasons to call me on the phone all day and joking around with me like nothing was wrong. I feel like I have emotional whiplash from the last 3 months of living with him while looking for a new place to live. At one point, he came home to see me eating a meal I just cooked during a break from packing. It was pretty disorganized, but I was in the middle of doing multiple things at the same time. He saw the mess and started yelling at me for it and throwing my things around the kitchen. Another day, he texted me asking why I wasn't interested in where he had been spending his days off and later sheepishly asking if he would drop the open marriage demand. Would I ever consider trying again? Of course, I told him we were way past that, considering the multiple times he promised he would cheat on me if we didn't open the marriage. Also, I did get tested and it came back clean as a whistle. I don't think he was already cheating, but he is damn embarrassed about this entire thing. He wants me to tell people he cheated on me when they ask why we are getting divorced instead of telling the truth of the matter. He was made aware in advance that after I moved and the divorce was finalized, I would be going no contact. I did all the legwork to make this happen, including getting all divorce paperwork and 2023 taxes filed, separating all bills and bank accounts, hiding the address to my new home, blocking him on all social media, and I will even be changing my phone number once everything is finalized. He feels that me going no contact is vindictive. No matter what he has said and done to hurt me, I still have a lot of love for this man. He doesn't deserve it, I know, but that is exactly why I need to go no contact. It's for my own peace and to maintain some semblance of self-respect. I can't tell him that because I don't want to give him, or myself, to be honest, any false hope that we could work things out. I have no plans to be with anyone else in the near or distant future. I just want to work on building my confidence and getting in a healthier mindset. I haven't gotten to counseling yet, like many have suggested. I was in survival mode for the last 3 months so I could get out of that hellish situation. Now that I'm in my new house and getting unpacked, I'm sure I will be able to relax enough to start feeling better soon. And if I don't, I have every intention of seeking professional help. I have a huge support network between friends and family, and our shared friends were all on my side as well. Not that there is a true right or wrong in a situation like this, but one of his best friends telling him this was the biggest mistake of his life was incredibly validating. The only thing I regret from my relationship with him is staying as long as I did despite all the red flags I ignored throughout the years. All I know is that I'm feeling a mix of relief and grief, and I just need some time to allow myself to heal. Out of our many conversations, he told me that 99% of open marriages fail because they were open for failing marriages, and that since we had a great relationship, we would have been fine. I tried explaining to him that I learned, from some of you guys, that what he suggested was not an open marriage, but it was parallel polyamory and it was the most difficult form of polyamory to achieve. He didn't care and was only focused on convincing me to work it out with him. For me, there is nothing to work out. He wants to be with someone else and to fall in love again. So I am giving him the freedom to do that but gracefully stepping back. As many have said, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. Here's to hoping 2024 is my year.
Whoa, hold up. Let's talk about the red flag that just turned into a whole parade. Your partner drops the open relationship bomb out of nowhere. Sounds exciting, right? Wrong. 9 times out of 10, they've already got someone lined up. It's like they're saying, hey, I want to cheat, but with your permission. Let's be real. They've probably been emotionally checking out for a while. It's not about exploration or spicing things up. It's about having a safety net while they test drive their new romantic interest. Don't fall for it. If they truly valued your marriage, they'd be working on strengthening your bond, not looking for loopholes. Remember, you deserve someone who's all in, not someone with one foot out the door and eyes wandering elsewhere. Stay woke, folks.
I let my boyfriend's ex rent my house at an incredibly low price because of their 5 kids, but she's ungrateful, so now I want to send them to the streets. My boyfriend, 42M, and I, 36F, have been together for 7 years. We have both been married and divorced before, and we both prefer to be financially independent of each other, so we keep things fairly separate. What's mine is mine, and what's his is his. I'm child-free, have worked my way up in my field, and am comfortable financially. My boyfriend, on the other hand, doesn't earn as much as I do, and he pays a significant amount of child support and contributes to all of his 5 kids' after-school activities, as he should. Our current living arrangement is that I pay all our household bills, loans, and food, while he looks after his kids and contributes what he can to our household. 5 years ago, I bought a home for us, going so far as to purchase a home that would suit his kids to make them feel comfortable when they came over and stayed with us. This caused a lot of drama, as his ex felt that I was trying to buy the children, and in her words, she only got the house to rub in how much better she thinks she is. I have always kept my distance from his ex. It was a messy divorce for them, which she blamed on me, even though I didn't meet my partner until they had been separated for nearly a year. She has a history of domestic violence towards him, and my presence only makes it worse. 18 months ago, I got a great job opportunity, which would mean we needed to relocate 12 hours away from our current home. After discussions between my boyfriend and me, and my boyfriend and his ex, we agreed that we would make the move for my job. We decided to rent my house to his ex at an incredibly discounted rate with the agreement that this arrangement would last for 2 years. Recently, my work circumstances have changed, and we have relocated back to our hometown. My boyfriend and I have found a small rental in the meantime. However, since coming home, his ex has become more aggressive, particularly towards me. She has told my partner that the children have always hated me and were only nice because of him, but they don't ever want to see me again. She has accused me of trying to buy the kids' love, making her look like a bad mother, and essentially being the root of all evil. All of that is whatever to me. I do love the kids in my own way. However, I would hate to make them choose or feel uncomfortable by being around me. So, we are making sure that my boyfriend spends as much time as possible with the kids, attends any sports or school events without me, and when I'm away for work, they come to our house. I've suggested therapy or counseling, but the ex won't hear it, making it sound like I'm calling her a bad mother for suggesting it. The 2 years are ending, and I want my house back. The issue, I guess if you can call it an issue, is that the ex is saying that if I'm fortunate enough to pay for a rental and to pay a mortgage now, I should let her and the kids stay in the house. Since the kids now hate me, it would be a waste of space for just my boyfriend and me. This situation is also leading to the kids telling my partner that they hate me even more for kicking them and their mother out of their home. My boyfriend is very torn on the matter, he just wants his kids to be safe and happy. Relevant comment. What are you getting out of this relationship really? Because this isn't going to end, it will just get worse. Why are you financially supporting this guy who won't stand up for you? You claim he's working hard for both you and the kids, but it doesn't seem that way. He has been letting his ex call all the shots in your relationship. Who are you in a relationship with, him or his ex? You really don't need any of this. Once they're gone from your life, you'll feel a lot better. You're fighting a losing battle with your boyfriend never standing up for himself and calling out his ex for parental alienation and other things going on. Don't you deserve better than this? You earn a ton of money, so enjoy your life, and stop worrying about kids who will continue to hate you. Trust me, this is only going to get worse. She's teaching them to be entitled to things that aren't theirs yet treating the person they owe like crap. Therapy won't help when their mom is whispering in their ears. They'll demand your money for college, weddings, down payments for their homes, baby-related stuff like baby showers, baby products, fertility treatments, and whatever else, all while treating you like crap every step of the way, and your boyfriend will cave under every demand, with the ex egging it all on. Kick them all out and be free of them all. I want a loving and healthy relationship. As mentioned above, there are lots of complexities in a relationship that can't fit into a post, but I can safely say that I have a rich and fulfilling relationship. Everything written above may come off as I finance everything, which isn't wrong, but I can, and that's a choice I have made. I have only one living family member and no children, so I am happy to help out my partner. I agree with some of the comments here that it was a terrible idea to rent to her in the first place, and I was truly naive thinking it would be appreciated by her. Honestly, if I could kick myself, I absolutely would. After some deep discussions and thought, we will be asking her to leave the house. We have a lease and an agent in place, so they will handle that side of it, and my boyfriend understands the fallout. I just feel guilt towards the children. None of this is their fault. Update 1. I've had some messages for an update on my original post, and ultimately, I wasn't the jerk, but I was definitely the moron. After reading a lot of comments on my original post, I decided that while, yes, I wanted my house back, I also didn't really love the idea of living in the house the nasty woman had lived in for longer than I. It didn't feel like my home anymore, and I really wanted my home to feel like my home, so I decided to sell. I spoke with my boyfriend, and he was really non-committal on the situation but said it was my decision. I gave the ex the option to stay in the home, and I would sell it as an investment property with a tenant, or she could move out. She went with going absolutely bat-crap crazy and decided to out hers and my boyfriend's reignited emotional love affair. As it turns out, since my boyfriend and I have returned to our hometown, and I still have to leave town frequently for work, they had gotten close again. The ex sent me a mountain load of screenshots of steamy messages and pictures between the two of them, along with long-winded messages of them whinging about me, suggesting that maybe I would just let them have the house if me and my boyfriend separated since I wouldn't need all that space. I obviously confronted my boyfriend, and he looked incredibly panicked, but admitted it was all true. He said that it was more of an emotional relationship and had not turned physical. He was very sorry, embarrassed, and explained that he was leaning on her for comfort because I was away a lot. He also missed his kids, and he felt emasculated by me a lot of the time. There are plenty of other reasons and excuses not even worth mentioning, and yes, it was all about the money. The main theme of the messages boiled down to money, because I earned more and had more disposable income, also didn't have 5 kids, but whose fault is that? And what they both failed to see is that I work away 3 weeks a month for 12 hours a day to earn said money. Needless to say, I am now single. I have kicked him and her out and placed the house on the market for sale. I have just put an offer on a cute little townhouse on the beach, and I've added back the dating apps tonight after a few wines, and I thought it was a good time to let Reddit know that most of you were right on my original post. Life isn't great, but I'm sure it'll be again one day. Edit. I've been trying really hard to stay as oblivious as possible to their situation. Not really for them, but for the kids. Despite what happened between me and their parents, I was a big part of their lives for years, and I do worry that they are now in an unsafe or unstable living situation due to their parents' stupidity and selfishness, so that part hurts to dwell on. Unfortunately, we live in a small town, so I do hear and see things. I was at the local market during the week and recognized one of the kids from a distance and hid. Sure enough, my ex was with her, so my assumption is they are together. It didn't really hurt to see them. It was like watching two people be so stupid but knowing they are too stupid to see it.
This relationship drama is a wild ride. A woman is funding her ex-boyfriend's entire life, him, his baby mama, and 5 kids, but the guy, living off her generosity, decides to have an emotional affair. It's like he looked at his cushy setup and thought, you know what this needs? More complications? This is next-level bad decision-making, setting the bar so low it's practically underground. Remember, if you ever feel like you're making poor choices, just think of this guy.